Hi, I'm David Fleming from Disciples Ignited, where we are focused on Jesus, advancing his kingdom, and preparing his disciples. Now, today in our Bible Treasure series, we're going to start studying and memorizing John chapter 14, verse 6. So let's get started and read the whole verse together on the next slide. John chapter 14, verse 6 from the NIV. Jesus answered, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Now, the first thing that I want to point out is that Jesus was answering a question. It does say Jesus answered. Now, the statement from John chapter 14, verse 6 is powerful all by itself. But it will help us if we dig in a little deeper and look at the question that prompted Jesus' statement that he is the way, the truth, and the life. So what was the question? Well, it all starts in John chapter 14, verses 1 through 4, where we find what Jesus is teaching his disciples. And he said, do not let your hearts be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. My Father's house has many rooms. If that were not so, would I have told you that I am going there to prepare a place for you? And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back and take you to be with me, that you also may be where I am. But here's the clincher in verse 4. You know the way to the place where I'm going. So what is Jesus telling them? Well, he's saying, listen, I want you to believe in me. I want you to trust me. And that's the key to following Jesus. Faith. We've got to trust Jesus. Then Jesus goes on to teach them that he's going to his Father's house to prepare a place for them, and that he's going to come back and take them to be with him in his Father's house. But it's what Jesus said in verse 4 that really confused them. When Jesus said, you know the way to the place where I'm going. You know what? I love Thomas's honesty. He said, no, we don't. Lord, we don't know where you're going, so how can we know the way? Isn't that perfectly honest? What's really going on behind Thomas's question? Well, it's this. Thomas and the rest of the disciples were afraid that Jesus was about to leave them. Let me ask you, have you ever felt like that? Or maybe you felt like Jesus has already left you. Let me tell you, if you know Jesus, you know this. Jesus will never leave his disciples. He's always with us, always. Remember, Jesus started out this conversation by telling his disciples that they had to put their faith in him, to trust him. Now, we might not understand what Jesus is doing at the moment, but if we trust him, if we put our faith in him, he's going to lead us through to victory. So you got to start where Jesus started. He said, put your faith in me. That's the key to understanding the rest of what Jesus is going to tell his disciples today. And it's the key to following Jesus. Put your faith in him. So today I want to encourage you to quit focusing on what you don't know. Begin to focus on what you do know. You know Jesus, so trust him. He's working on your behalf. As Jesus started out this whole teaching, he said, do not let your hearts be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. In other words, put your faith in Jesus. That is the key to understanding everything that Jesus teaches us, and it is the key to following him successfully. Put your faith in Jesus. Now, join me tomorrow, and we're going to start memorizing and studying more in depth some of the teachings from John chapter 14, verse 6. We're going to learn it bit by bit, and before the end of the week, we'll have the whole thing memorized. But better than that, we're going to understand some of the profound teaching that John chapter 14, verse 6 has for us. So I'll see you tomorrow.